behalf of Wines of Argentina, I would like to welcome you and thank you, all of you, for joining us today. Today is our fourth and last session of Wines of Argentina in conversation with Paz Levinson. Today we will explore Extreme Cuyo with Paula Gonzalez, Alejandro Sejanovich, and Matias Riccitelli. Before starting, I would like to thank you, all of you guys who have been joining us from the beginning, from the first session. And for the ones who are joining today for the first time, don't worry, you can watch the previous sessions on our YouTube channel. Having said this, please remember to mute your mics, cameras. You can make questions in our chat, and we will reply fast. We'll be replying in the... Somebody has the mic. Sorry. After the session. Paz, thank you very, very much for all the work you've done in these sessions, and we hope to see you all guys in future events. We will be doing more online events, and hopefully very soon we will be also going to your countries again. Thank you, Paz.
Hello everyone there. Thank you, Gisela, and thank you all the team of Wines of Argentina. Thank everybody for joining us. Good morning and good evening. And so today we have a last day, but a very exciting day. So thank you everybody, as Gisela said, to all the people that were joining us week after week. And the ones that came today, well, you will have also all the conversations online. And also this presentation will be yours as well. So we will share this presentation with you. So you will have this at home. And today are people joining from many countries around the world. So thank you very much. Costa Rica, Argentina, Mar del Plata. There is people from London, Brazil, Netherlands, Mexico, always Hong Kong present, and Peru, Stockholm. So thank you everyone there for joining us in this session. So, and by the way, today is Sommelier International Day. So very happy day to all the sommeliers out there. And it's the best way of celebrating my profession, because today we have fantastic wine people that will tell us about new places and new terroirs in Argentina. So as Gisela says, today is time for Cuyo, but extreme regions in Cuyo, in San Juan and Mendoza. So we have, I will present our experts today. So Paula Gonzalez, and Paula is a young lady winemaker, a winemaker in Pyros project from Salentine. She's from Mendoza, but she lives since 4 years now in San Juan. And she will tell us about Pedernal and very special vineyard that she is working. There is Alejandro Sejanovich. Alejandro is a vine grower, real vigneron. He is one of the people that has more experience in vineyards in Argentina. And he has many projects in Argentina, working in the north and the south, Jujuy and Rio Negro. Today we're going to talk about a project in Uspallata, so very, very high in the mountains in Mendoza. And Matias Riccitelli, winemaker, young winemaker as well, many years of experience in Mendoza and Rio Negro. And Matias Riccitelli is owner of Riccitelli Wines, and he will share with us all the characteristics of a very new project in La Carrera. So thank you all you for being present here today. We have a lot of information, a lot of questions as well. Don't hesitate to do questions, and we will try to answer. I didn't mention all the projects of Alejandro Sejanovich, but I'm sure you know Manos Negras, for example, and today it's my main focus in Estancia, Uspallata. But, well, amazing people here today. I will start very briefly to introduce what we are going to talk today. So, as always, we show a little bit of the country, Argentina, our main map, And as you know, the frontiers are going south-south, and they're going also up in the mountains and very near the sky. So here, the Cuyo region, we were talking about mainly San Juan and Mendoza. San Juan and Mendoza, but at altitudes that it start at 1,500 meters above the sea level. So it's Cuyo is our most important wine region of Argentina, as a lot of you may know, and it's real established. But as we are going to see today, we have many new terroirs to explore. So if we see the Cuyo presentation, here you have the main characteristics of Cuyo. But as we see, we are going to explore most of the high altitude of San Juan and very high altitude and very different terroirs in Mendoza. We have lots of information and about these three regions, so I won't be talking too much now. I want to leave the experts to start the presentation, and then I continue doing some questions, and please do comments as well. So I will introduce Paula Gonzalez, that I very briefly describe. A lady winemaker, which is very good to have a lady in San Juan, in a beautiful terroir in San Juan Pedernal. So hello, Paula, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Paz. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm really happy to be here sharing this with you, talking about Pedernal Valley, an extreme valley we have here in San Juan province. I think it's a great opportunity to talk about this valley that is not so well known yet, but it has enormous potential. So,
totally.
We are going to talk about San Juan a little bit. So we can go, if we can go to the next slide.
Yes, because we have to. You live in San Juan city, but the vineyard is quite far away from San Juan city, no?
Yeah. Our vineyard is located in the south west part of San Juan, 55 miles away from the city center. Then we are going to show some pictures of the vineyard, but just a quick summary of San Juan. As you can see there, San Juan is located in the western edge of Argentina at the foot of the Andes. It is a territory dominated by mountains that occupy more than the 80% of its surface. Something important to mention is that San Juan is the second most cultivated wine province in Argentina after Mendoza. This is very important. We have here 79,000 acres planted that I could say that mostly 95% of this vineyard planted in San Juan are in Tulum, Uyum, Zonda valleys, that they are in the middle of San Juan. The rest are of high altitude wines. So there you can see some details of temperature annual average, that is 63 Fahrenheit degrees. The rainfall annual average we have, it is 150 millimeters per year. And if we see the next slide, please. We are going to see that we have 5 main valleys here in San Juan. As I told you, one of the most highest valley there is Pedernal Valley. The altitude ranges between 1,800 meters to more than 6,000 feet above sea level. So we're going to be focused today in Pedernal Valley. So if we see the next slide, that one, this is Pedernal Valley. The yellow line you are seeing indicates us the limits of the valley. So to the east, that is on the right, we have the Pedernal Hill, and to the west, that is on the left, we have the Andes mountain range. And if you see the red dot at the bottom of the image, this is our vineyard, where is located Pyros vineyard. Something important to mention is that Pedernal Valley, since 2007, it is a geographical indication of Argentina, that is very important. And this is a very small area, valley. We are just 6 producers, and with a total surface cultivated of 2,000 acres. Let's see, we can continue to the next one. That one. Okay, we're going to focus now on Pedernal Valley. As I told you, Pedernal Valley is located in the southwest part of San Juan, 55 miles away from city center. It is a mountainous valley in the foothills of the Andes that on the west, it borders Santa Clara Range and Sierra of Tontal, and to the east, it ends at Sierra de Pedernal and Los Pozos. The altitude here ranges from 4,500 feet to more than 5,000 feet. The annual temperature, the annual average temperature here ranges from 78 to 82 Fahrenheit degrees. And very special here is talking about climate. We have it's continental and cold. The difference between day and night, it's very good, probably 60 Fahrenheit degrees. But the most important thing is that the maximum temperatures are not too high. So another thing is, for example, the rainfall we have there, the annual average, it is 150 millimeters approximately. But I think that the most important thing is Pedernal Valley is not only known because of these characteristics, if not because of the soil we have there, that it's a calcareous geological soil. Now we are going to see a video. This video, you are going to see that Pedernal Valley, it's a confined valley, isolated from natural pests and far from civilizations, which creates unique conditions for these for planting vineyards. Since 2000, Pedernal Valley, it's a preserved area protected by laws in the province. Something important to say is that water and air are very clean and clear. We have only 25 miles away the most important astronomical observatory in the world, Leoncito. And just for you to know, viticulture there started in the 90s in a virgin soil. That is very important.
Paula, how long it takes you to get from San Juan City to Pedernal, to the vineyard?
2 hours, approximately.
2 hours?
Yeah, it's not too far, but it's a wild area, so you have to get there by truck, and it's not easy to get there. So 2 hours, you will need.
Yeah, thank you. Very, very far away.
Yes. So with this picture, I wanted to show you the natural flora we have there, that it's incredible. We will find there aromatic herbs such as wild thyme, oregano, jarilla, that they're specifically from there. They're very nice. We have some cactus as well. And now, if we continue, we're starting talking about the soil we have there of Pedernal and how it became. Exactly, in that slide, we're going to see that Pedernal Hill is composed of rocks from the Ordovician period of the Paleozoic age, formed more than 480 million years ago. Those rocks are of marine origin, formed in a marine sedimentary of carbonaceous platform that is composed mainly of limestone, flint, and dolomite as well. The particularity is that those rocks are flat and sharp because it's a colluvial soil we have. Then we are going to see it better. But if we see the next slide, that one, as you can see there, both Pedernal Hill and the Andes mountain range were formed in different periods. One of them was formed in the Ordovician period and the other one in the Devonian. And if you see the directions of the arrows, you will see that calcareous rocks, fragmented and displaced by weathering and erosion over time, were transported from Pedernal Hill down to the western part of the valley, as you can see there. And on the other hand, fragments of different mineralogical compositions were moved eastwards from the mountains, forming part of the sedimentary field of the valley. Those rocks are rocks such as schist, volcanic rocks, basalts, and granite as well. So different compositions in a very small place, in a very small vineyard we have there. So in our vineyard, we wanted to, we have the particularity of being planted over the Pedernal Hill, descending towards to the valley. We have a very heterogeneous soil in a very small vineyard. And the idea is that we want to show single blocks, single wines from the valley. There in that image, you can see the difference between one rock and the other one. And as I told you, they are not like rounded rocks. They are flat and sharp because it's a colluvial soil. Something important is that Pedernal Valley gives us something unique because it has a geological calcareous soil that no other wine region in Argentina has it. Probably we will find it in Burgundy, for example, but the main difference with this region is the altitude, that it's completely different, and of course the climate as well. We are in Pedernal Valley, we have Winkler too. So this is the main difference with Burgundy. Okay. In that
Paula,
picture,
how was all the study? I imagine, well, we know Pedernal for many years, but we from the 2007, the geographic indication, but more and more we know more about Pedernal. How was the process? Which people go to study your vineyards? How you find all these differences, and because it's quite complex.
Yeah, we have been studying the soil, and we continue studying the soil. We're going to see next slide. But this project began in 2008, and since that year, we have been studying the soil. And in 2016, we hired Claude and Lydia Bourguignon to study more in detail the soil. With them, we can have done the differentiation, the different kind of soils we have near Pedernal Hill and near the Andes mountain range. So, please, can you get in the other slide? In that picture, as we can see there, we are located in Pyros vineyard. This is a picture that was taken from Pedernal Hill, and we can see the Andes mountain at the end. As you can see there, we are very close between Pedernal Hill and the Andes mountain. And the particularity of the vineyard is that we have in just 80 hectares or 200 acres heterogeneous soil, as I told you. We have 100% calcareous soil, and as we descend, we can find schist, volcanic rocks, and granite as well. So these heterogeneous soils allowed us to have single plot wines. That is the idea that we want to show people from this place, this unique terroir we have. So this is the first, when we started the project, we divided into blocks the different regions inside the vineyard. Today, as I told you, we have been continuing studying the soil, and we are making like a further differentiation between each one of these. There you can see it. We are not talking about blocks anymore. If not, we talk about areas or plots with a similarity, with similar characteristics. So we have the limestone hill, we have 4 stones, that is where we have one of our wines that is called 4 stones because of the composition of the soil. So we think that we have to continue studying, and not only in the vineyard, if not, we are doing a lot of micro-vinification during the fermentation process at the winery. So if we continue, I wanted to show you the 3 different profiles that we have there in the vineyard. This first soil pit that we have is the for our appellation range line, you will see there that we have sandy loam with low percentage of calcareous soil. The main characteristic that we will have in the wines there are that the wines are very fruity. They will have some structure, but we want to show the valley with all the characteristics it has. We are thinking about planting some white grapes there in the future, but I think it's a very good terroir. Then, if we see the other
Paula,
slide,
which are you thinking in a special white grape for this
Sauvignon,
kind of soil?
Yeah, Sauvignon Blanc, maybe, but we haven't decided yet. But I think this variety will be perfectly there.
Perfect, thank you.
This second soil pit we have, it's where we take the grapes from our block number 4, or 4 stones, that is the name of the wine that is going to be changed. And here you are going to see that we have higher percentage of rocks and less percentage of fine materials. I think this is the most representative soil of Pedernal, with the influence of calcareous soil and other rocks from the Andes range. And in this case, with this kind of soil, we are going to obtain wines with amplitude, fine texture, and we are also going to find these wild herbs that I was telling you that we have there, and of course raspberry and cherries. And if we see the next one, the light, this is another image of this soil pit. And the next one, this is the soil pit for our Pyros Vineyard Limestone Hill. Here you are going to see that we have sandy loam, very, very rich in calcareous stone. I think calcareous stone is the whole profile we have there. We are going to obtain, in this case, wines with a lot of layers, fine texture, minerality, fruity, and very good extractor. So if we continue, this is I wanted to show you, last year we planted Chardonnay and Cabernet Franc in Pedernal Hill, the most highest part in the vineyard. And this is the soil where we planted the grapes. It's completely virgin, and we didn't use any implements for moving the soil, because if we continue for the next slide, this is just a summary of what I've been talking about. And the soil we have there, it's uncompacted, and we have a very, very good water retention and distribution of the water. So we have a very good drainage as well. And as I told you, the weather is continental and cold, and every year probably we have some snow there. We have had some snow this year at the valley.
Do you also have frost or strong winds, frost?
Yeah, sometimes we have frost, but to handle that, we do late pruning to avoid early and late frost.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much. Paula was very, very clear, and I hope you enjoy as well as me all the photos of the soil pits, because it's really amazing what you're finding in Pedernal, exciting. In terms of stylistically, the wines, because Pedernal is high altitude and very close to Mendoza. Do you think stylistically the wines are similar or alike, or have like a dialogue with some region in Mendoza? Do you find you think, okay, this kind of wines, I think about this terroir in Mendoza, just to get an idea, because I think stylistically Pedernal, it's far away from Tulum, that is the main valley, and it's more near Mendoza style. I think, Paula?
Sorry, Paz, but I cannot hear you very well.
Okay. No worries. I was just telling that stylistically, Pedernal Valley, I think it's closer to Mendoza style, but I wanted to ask you which terroir in Mendoza makes you think Pedernal.
Okay, yeah, we're very close to Mendoza, and because of the characteristic that climate we have there, not because of the soil, just for the climate we have, probably we can say that it's similar to San Pablo or Gualtatari, in the middle part, not the most highest part of San Pablo, but we can be similar to those places.
Perfect, perfect. It's just to people get an idea that as you said, from San Juan is 2 hours drive, it's very far away, and it's really stylistically different as Tulum Valley or other valleys in San Juan. So thank you very much, Paula.
You're welcome.
So we continue with Mendoza. Here we have the main characteristic Mendoza, but as you see, Mendoza is so big and vast, and is our main province in production. Here we have to correct something in this slide, because altitude, because today we are talking about very, very high altitude, and we are talking with Alejandro, which his vineyard is in 2,000 meters above the sea level. So as you see, altitude goes faster than and wine growers go faster as our information can get actualized. But we were going to correct that for sure. So Mendoza, we have so many different altitudes, but as well as Paula told us and shared with us, I think one of the main explorations and the main research was also in soil, altitude, soil temperatures, and winkler zones. So I don't want to take more time to Alejandro Sejanovich, so he will share with us all the characteristics of Uspallata, a place, I've been in 3 places that we talked today, and Uspallata, going from San Juan to Uspallata was an amazing road to do, amazing drive, and well, this is a very, very special place. Please, Alejandro. Hello, how are you?
Okay, hello. Thank you, Paz, to be here on Wines of Argentina. Also, I'm with my partner, Jeff Mausbach, that will help me with the English and to explain the things. So in this slide, we can see the different valleys of Mendoza. So we are in a new valley, which is to the west of what we are seeing now. So here in this slide, we can see mostly of new valleys in high elevation that are being planted in Mendoza and in San Juan. In your left, you can see the valley of Uspallata.
So just to be aware of this map that we showed, you have to be very, very you have to get the wines from all those regions, because it's very, very exciting, all the projects that are in the high altitude regions. So it's a very good map and a very good guide.
Yes, and we have to add that if we go a little to the south of this map, we find also the valley that is going to present by Matias Riccitelli.
Exactly.
Carrera. So I leave Jeff explaining this film.
So this is a little video which takes us on a virtual tour, a virtual trip through the valley of Mendoza, and will give us an idea of the location of the Uspallata Valley in relation to the other valleys. So it's a valley, there you see it coming up. It's a valley that's to the north and to the west, so it's even higher than the Uco Valley. This is a very new valley for viticulture. There's only one vineyard there in the Uspallata Valley, which is Estancia Uspallata. You will see as we kind of move around and get a different viewpoint of the valley that the Estancia Uspallata is located in a canyon, which is at the very southern tip of the valley. The canyon is called the Quebrada de Minero, and it's the very, very beginning of the Uspallata Valley. This vineyard is owned by the Saud family. Ariel Saud and his family are owners of the property. It's a small 4-hectare vineyard that was planted in 2008. And Alejandro and I were brought in to help develop the project in 2015. So that's just a little bit of background on the projects, on the vineyard, and I think we'll pass it over to Alejandro now so that he can give us a little bit more additional insight into the particular qualities of this vineyard.
Okay, so in this slide, I want to show basically that it's a vineyard at 2,000 meter elevation, and this influence in two things, in temperatures and in sunlight intensity. So basically temperatures are when you have cooler days, that means the maximum temperature is cooler than the rest of Mendoza, and of course the minimums are low. But it's more important the difference we found during the day than the temperatures we found during nights. That low temperatures means also that all the process, all the cycle of the vineyard will begin later. And low temperatures also means that there is much better efficiency of the photosynthesis because the plants cannot stress about with the temperatures. And the other thing which is important is sunlight intensity. When we go up in elevation, sunlight intensity increases a lot, and especially in these areas where the humidity is extremely low. The rainfall is very low, 120 millimeters per year. And the other thing related to the climate is the wind. It's a very windy area, and the vineyards are planted in the hills, which maybe is the only vineyard in all the valley of Uspallata. The rest of the valley of Uspallata is in the flat, and there is much more risk. There is a lot of risk of frost. This area have very low risk of frost. Let's to the other, please. The varieties we have planted here is basically Pinot Noir, Malbec, and Cabernet Franc. In this slide, we can see the vineyard. So there we can begin talking about the source of water and the soils. So the green thing you see in the border is the water. It's
a natural spring.
It's the natural spring that gives the water to the rest of the vineyard. And surrounding the vineyard, you can see the hills that are very particular hills that we found only in this place. They were formed many years ago, and we have colluvial soils coming from these hills. Other thing that is interesting is again the heterogeneity of the soil. I believe in the soils that have heterogeneity because this will give much more complexity to the wine. Here we have a stone, a clast. That means how the soils were formed many years ago under the floor, where the minerals they found, and then they get cold temperatures and they form this clast, which is stones that they are with calcium carbonate. They form the rock. Okay, and this is the base of the formation. Here you can see that we have beautiful colors of these hills, and these hills are which they formed our soils. Also, you can see in the lower part of the vineyard where the spring is, there is much more organic matter. So all the Pinot Noir that we have planted close to the river, close to the water, it have a totally different kind of soil of the plant, the part that is planted close to the hills. And this makes a very interesting change. Here we have a beautiful view of the slopes inside of the vineyard, and how it is surrounded by hills.
Ale, is this area, at this altitude, can grow in terms of viticulture, or is this 8 hectares here, and then in the valley it can grow in terms of viticulture?
We can grow. There is this property of the South family is very big, but there is not water to cultivate much more. But there are more cultivated land that it is possible to do. We are planning to plant this year more vineyards, not very much, but the idea is to plant at least 1 or 2 hectares more. I think also that we need to, well, we can, because there are some plants of Chardonnay, we can plant some whites. The soils are very interesting. What is interesting also here is the best terroir that I find in Argentina. I like to vinify with the stems, with the whole clusters. And in particular this place, the stems, they get an amazing maturity. One of the things is related to not only to the soil, but also to the sunlight intensity. It makes that we get stems that they are mature. And what I like is when the stems give flavors that are typically from this place. I mean, this is something very interesting, that in the best terroirs of Argentina, the stems have a particular flavor that helps a lot in the aromatics and in the quality of the wine.
Ale, we have a photo of the stems as well, and I have some questions. But also, planting a new vineyard there must be also very difficult. You were talking to me about the wind. Can you share with us about
one of the problems is the wind. We have winds the whole year, and they are asking about the dark nets, and the nets are for against the wind. We have winds that are damaging, that they can damage during bad break. So we have to be very, very careful to have the nets put once the bad breaks begins, because the wind can be strong. And the other thing is, especially the dry winds, the Zonda winds that can happen close to the harvest of Pinot Noir. So there is very important to be aware of if a Zonda wind is coming, and if we are very close to the harvest, I prefer to harvest before I have an important Zonda wind. Also, they are asking me about irrigation. All of the vineyards, or mostly all of the vineyards of Argentina, are under irrigation. It's part of, I say that it's part of the terroir. We have very low quantity of rains in Argentina, and the rain, it happens usually very strong, and it's not profitable. The soils cannot keep this water, and we need to irrigate the vineyard. I mean, there are many areas in the world that are under irrigation, but it's a complementary irrigation. In Argentina, it's not a complementary, it's irrigation. We need to irrigate. And the management of the water, it allows us to express much better the terroir. They are asking me, this is drip irrigated, and the water is coming from a spring. It's a natural spring that is born there. We saw it in one of the first places where it was the green, and we send this water to 2 reservoirs, and from the reservoir we pump to the vineyard by drip.
Fantastic, Ale, super clear, and well, the photos are amazing. Can people visit Estancia Uspallata? Because after all these photos, I think that when we can start traveling,
yes,
everybody wants to go there.
The Saúl family have their own house there, but they are also planning to build some small houses to begin tourism once that all this disease allows us to come back and visit. So I invite everybody here to come and visit Mendoza, to come visit also San Juan, and well, very soon we will be able to do and enjoy our beautiful landscapes and our beautiful wine.
And from Mendoza City, how
from Mendoza City is in the road to Chile. So there is a road, and there is only 4 kilometers of dust road, and you have to think it's between 1 hour, 1 hour 30. Yeah. And it depends on the traffic, because it's also the corridor that goes to Chile, so there are always many tracks.
And I imagine now in winter, because must be a lot of snow, no?
No, you know that snow happen. It's not an area where you will have a lot of snow. It happens snow maybe once or two per year, but we are in the frontal Andes.
You are protected.
Yes, you have more snow close to the border of Chile.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Alejandro. And then we come back for more questions. So here we have the Uco Valley, and we'll get to the last terroir, last amazing place to talk today. And this is, so here we have the map that you know, the map of Uco Valley, divided in the three main departments, Tupungato, Tunuyán, and San Carlos. Today we're focusing in the Tupungato region, and this is a very special place as well, very high in the mountains, very different from what you know of Mendoza. You will see the pictures, and you will and Matias will explain everything about La Carrera, but in the so I think one of the things that is important is that today is not enough to talk about Uco Valley or these three main areas. We are talking much more in detail about the districts, and inside the districts, well, the geographical indications and districts. So hello, Matias.
Hello, Paz. Hello, everyone. Bueno. As you said, Uco Valley is a huge region, so it's not a place with the same characteristic in all its extension. So we have many different kind of soils, altitude, and also different weather between the areas, between San Carlos, Tunuyán, and Tupungato. So today I'm going to talk about La Carrera, a new area that didn't have any winemaking meaning until a few years ago. In the past, people used it to cultivate only potatoes and beans. And I know that they are doing some dry farming, so it's quite a special place. If you realize that we are in Mendoza, in the desert, doing something in dry farming is quite interesting. So La Carrera is located in Tupungato, in the extreme north of the valley. If you can pass the slides, I think. Yeah. It's located in the north side of the valley. And the limits are to the north with Lujàn de Cuyo. So it's the last wine-growing region frontier of the valley. To the south, with El Peral, which is a traditional place where you can find old vines in the lower Peral. To the east, with San Jose, another traditional place. And of course, to the west, with the Andes mountain, with Cordón del Plata. Yes, so if we can change the slides, please. Yes. So the terroir characteristics are very unique in La Carrera. La Carrera, in terms of temperatures, average temperatures are very low, very cold. So we get from September to April, we reach 13 degrees, which is something very unusual for us in Mendoza, very cold. And also, the whole area is under the classification of Winter 1. Again, something very unique. This is the coldest area in the whole Mendoza. So we have a lot of frost damage there. In terms of rainfall, it's something very unique also. It's the largest rainfall area in Mendoza. The rain levels go through 300 milliliters to 700 milliliters. In some years, even more, if you go up to the valley. In terms of altitude, again, it's the highest cultivated area in Uco Valley, going through 1,600 to 1,900, even 2,000 meters above sea level. What we have here is a new area. So we have 4 hectares. That's only 4 hectares. You will see in the next video. You can pass to the video. The vineyards. We have 4 hectares there. 2 hectares of Sauvignon Blanc, 1 hectare of Chardonnay, and 1 hectare of Pinot Noir. Half of them in production right now, and half of them were planted 2 years ago. So we are going to have some production next year and the year after. You can see how green is the place, no? Because we have a lot of rain, and it's very, very unique. Now we are doing a soil research, and in this picture you can see the extension of the valley in the white polygon, and you can see the different altitude that we have, and there we have a lot of different soils, from clay soils, loamy clay soils, to limestone soils, rocky soils, different altitude, different expositions, and so we are going to plant this year 6 hectares more. Our focus in this place is just only white grape varietals and Pinot Noir. So we are going to plant in different altitude with different phases, and we are looking for north phases, because we need to get more sunlight. You know, it's a very cold place, so we need know where we need to plant. Yeah, this is the vineyard. I'm very, very close to the Cordón del Plata. And the next one show you the different 4 streams that descend to the mountain. So we have water to plant more if we need. But with the rain that we have and the altitude that we have, I think that there is some opportunities. We don't know, but in some years could be there is some opportunity to do dry farming, no? And this is very unique thing.
Are you, Matias, are you thinking in experimenting? Now that the vineyard is very young, maybe no, but then are you thinking in experimenting and with dry farming?
Yeah. This year was very, very dry, so we couldn't do in dry farming. But depends on the year, no? If we get 700 milliliters, of course we can do it. So depend. If we go up to we know that if we go up, we get more rain there. So maybe we can do it, and it's something very unique and special if we can do it.
And also in terms of light, because Mendoza is very famous of the luminosity, but I imagine it's much more cloudy than other regions.
Yes, it's more cloudy, very cold weather. So the ripeness goes so slow. If you change could you change the slides, please? Yeah. Well, in this picture, confirm that the whole area is under the classification Winkler 1. Again, it's very cold, it's unique. In Mendoza, not many places has Winkler 1. So our focus is in white grapes and Pinot Noir. And we have different alluvial funds. So different opportunities to develop different things. Yeah.
Are you thinking also about
I took this picture 2 weeks ago. So and today is snowing. So it's a very cold place. So 2 weeks ago we got snow in La Carrera. Yeah, you can see the vineyard here, and you can see how green is the soil, no? And the canopy. We have really good canopies because in this point where we have the vineyards, we work with loamy clay soils, very living soils. We get a lot of organic materials. Worms are there. Lot of so we have there good soils where we can have these canopies. In this picture, the picture before are Sauvignon Blanc. So we pick the grapes in April. If we compare with other regions, Sauvignon Blanc normally is picking in February, beginning of February. In La Carrera, we pick beginning of April. So we have 2 months different. So the ripening goes so slow. So we need this canopy to get dry. But the extreme altitude and the extreme weather that we have get us low yields. So we get concentrate grapes, beautiful balance, beautiful acidity, low pH, and good sugars. No, we get 12, 11.5, 12 degrees. So the balance between sugar, TA, and pH are excellent. Very unique in Mendoza.
You have in the market already wines coming from La Carrera, that's right?
Yeah, we have Sauvignon Blanc already in the market. That's only Sauvignon Blanc. And I think next year we are going to release Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. But it's a new product, so we are going to plant more hectares, focusing white, as I told you, in Pinot Noir. So you will see more wines coming in the future. Again, cloudy sky and very green. No? So I hope that we can do something in dry farming.
That previous picture was in September, so usually a very sunny period, but it was very cloudy. And I had a question about dry farming. The question is if dry farming influence in the profile of the wine.
I think so, because the vigor of the vine is better. We get less yielding, so we get more concentrate grapes. And for me, if we can get dry farming in La Carrera, will be great. Will be great. We will get very concentrate grapes and good balance in the wine.
Fantastic. I think we have one more picture, but also with the green. Hola.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Matias.
Thank you.
And so thank you very much to all. Also the questions. I see that there is quite a lot of questions. But please, is the moment to ask. Was super interested all the information, and I think that is amazing job to have all this information given for you in a PowerPoint, but also to show you that we have places that are growing, and there are people that taking risks in very high altitude and very extreme weathers. So, and this is for you to stay tuned because it goes really, really fast. But as you can see, there's really extreme places. I will check if we have a little bit more questions, but I had just a question to Paula. If Paula, can you talk a little bit about the grape varieties that are in the vineyards? But I wanted you to tell us something about the Syrah, because a lot of people ask San Juan Syrah. Can you tell us
yes
how Syrah express in this valley?
Yes, okay, yeah. Everybody, when we talk about San Juan, everybody thinks immediately about Syrah. And we, in Pedernal Valley, Syrah, it's like completely different from the other valleys because of the weather and the soil we have there. So probably Syrah in different valleys as Tulum, Uzum, Zonda, they're going to have a fruity expression. And in Pedernal Valley, we are going to have the fruity, but we also have the profile of the soil, the minerality and the climate. It's going to be present with continental and cold. So it's completely different profile of Syrah. And in our vineyard, we have 80 hectares of Malbec. And last year, we planted 1 hectare of Chardonnay and Cabernet Franc. We have in our appellation range, we have a Syrah, but it doesn't come from our own vineyard. We select the best grapes for one of the huge producer there in the valley, from a big producer there. So, but probably next year we are going to be planting different varieties. We are going to expand with the Chardonnay and Cabernet Franc as well.
Thank you very much. And just a question to Alejandro and Jeff. Well, you're working in very high altitudes, and we talk also in the sessions about Jujuy. Can you see some similarities, because it's like more than 2,000 meters above the sea level? Can you tell us if you find more difference than similarities in that altitude?
Well, there is a similarity in the colors of the hills of Uspallata. Uspallata, it looks like you are in Jujuy.
Yeah,
what I feel that is very interesting is that there is an expression of the wines that are totally different in Jujuy and in Uspallata from the rest of the valleys. The same happened with Pedernal, the same happened with La Carrera. So what I think is very interesting is that if we vinify the wines, taking care of the terroir, we will have wines that are really different. And then it's the consumer who decides what he prefers to drink or what is the better. But I feel that this is the most important thing, that they show profiles of flavors that are totally different from Jujuy, from Pedernal, from Uspallata and La Carrera than the rest of Argentina.
Thank you very much, Ale. And a last question to Matias about climate change, for sure. Do you see in La Carrera the future as well for vineyards with climate change?
Yeah, this year we got a lot of high temperatures in Mendoza in the lower areas. So La Carrera give us a big opportunity to grow different grapes. For me, La Carrera is a big opportunity to make excellent whites with great balance, natural acidity, natural pH, but also in the future, if the temperature change, we can grow red grapes. So yeah, here in La Carrera is very extreme right now. So we are working at 1,700, 1,800. But we have a lot of land there. We can plant, we can grow in vines until 2,000 meters. So yeah, this is a big place. It's a huge place. We have water. We have more rain than other places. So it could be a place that to be.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Matias. So thank you very much to everyone. It was a fantastic session. We learned a lot. You will have the presentation. Wines of Argentina will be sent to you. I want to thank all the people that came to the sessions and that join us, and for the wonderful questions as well. And well, thank you especially to Paula, Jeff, Ale, Matias, and all the team also of Pyros. Thank you, Gisela, and all the team of Wines of Argentina. You were amazing. We made a lot of interesting work, and hope to see you very soon in other conversations.
Thank you, Paz, and all of the speakers. Thank you for joining us, and I would like also to thank Paz and all the sommeliers around the world speaking about Argentina and taking Argentina to many other countries and sharing the love and the passion we have for Argentina. Thank you, and happy Sommeliers Day. Thank you everyone for joining us, and let's meet very soon in future events.